最近很多就是大龄的女的。
Lately, a lot of older, unmarried women are starting to completely break down. Some are engaging in self-reflection, regretting being too picky when they were younger and realizing how many quality men they passed up. Others are publicly putting themselves out there to find a husband, lowering their standards and saying, as long as you meet these basic criteria and are willing, I'll marry you today. Then there are those pretending to accept it, convincing themselves they just have to live with never having a child or a marriage. And finally, some are in pure meltdown mode, crying out, why is society so unfriendly to older women? Why can't someone as great as me find a partner? Have you ever wondered why they are spiraling like this? Let me tell you, what they are going through right now isn't even the worst of it. The real breakdown happens once they cross into their 90s, or rather, their 40s. Even if a woman completely lacks self-awareness, hitting 40 forces her to swallow 3 brutal realities. The first reality is that you are truly no longer young. I'm 39 this year, turning 40 soon. Back when I was 35, I never felt any different from women in their 20s. My stamina, energy, and looks all felt great, and I completely dismissed what people used to say. But do I dare say that now? Do I dare compare myself to younger women today? You don't even need to compare faces with beauty filters and makeup. Anyone can look good. Just look at the hands. The hands of an aging woman and a young girl tell 2 completely different stories at a single glance. So that's the first reality they face. Youth is officially gone. The second reality is that they never actually prepared themselves to live a whole life without children. When does the impact of this choice truly hit you? It hits when you directly confront the reality of death. In your 30s, you don't think about it at all because it feels a million miles away. But by the time you reach 40, death enters your field of vision. Parents pass away, friends and relatives leave, colleagues around your age fall ill or die, and your own body starts experiencing pain and sickness. That's when you realize that facing mortality in theory is completely different from facing it in real life. The third reality is discovering that the world told you a massive lie. All those ideals you clung to, staying independent, refusing marriage, enjoying life, pursuing your refined aesthetic, end up making you look like a total lunatic in the eyes of others. You traded away your most precious assets, your youth, your fertile years, your age dividend, and accepted a lifetime of isolation, only to end up with a reality like this. It is almost impossible to swallow. If people back then looked at you and thought, wow, you are so independent, so unique, living such a meaningful and non-traditional life, you might derive some comfort from that. But now, people just look at you and think, after all that posturing, she just turned out to be crazy. When they realize their perceived value in the dating market has dropped below divorced women with kids, most of them completely collapse. So who can they blame now? Honestly, I don't think they've broken down enough yet. The ones who have truly hit rock bottom are already busy adjusting their mindsets, lowering their expectations, and actively trying to build a stable life. When you strip it all away, the core of the problem was always trying to demand a premium price using unfair and unrealistic terms.
Hey guys and girls, let's sit down today and have a real, honest heart-to-heart. If you scroll through your feed, have you noticed a trend lately? A lot of unmarried women in China in their 30s and 40s are starting to fall into a collective sense of anxiety, with many hitting an absolute breaking point. Some are posting self-reflective videos, confessing they regret being too picky in their youth and realizing how many quality men they passed up. Others are publicly putting themselves out there to find a spouse, lowering their standards and saying, as long as you're decent and willing, I'll marry you today. Then there are those trying to convince themselves to accept a life without marriage or children, though every line they speak reveals their utter confusion and feelings of unfairness from society. After looking at all these stories, I really want to ask, why are they spiraling like this? To be blunt, this initial breakdown is just the beginning. Once you cross the threshold of 40, no matter how elevated your mindset used to be or how proud you were, reality forces your eyes open to face 3 incredibly harsh truths. The first truth: time shows no mercy, and you are truly no longer young. At 35, many people look great with skin treatments, beauty filters, and clever makeup. They genuinely feel no different from women in their 20s. But by the time you reach 40, even if cosmetics can hold up your face, the skin on your hands, the fatigue in your eyes, and the decline in your daily physical energy will silently tell you the same thing: your age dividend is officially gone. The second truth: most people were never actually prepared to spend a lifetime without children. In your 30s, everyone is busy hustling and enjoying life. Aging and mortality feel a million miles away, but by age 40, as your parents grow older, and friends or colleagues your age fall ill or pass away, you are forced to face the harsh topics of aging and mortality for the very first time. That is when you realize that saying "I don't care" in your youth weighs infinitely heavier when facing decades of potential illness and solitude ahead. The third truth, and the one that causes the biggest meltdown: you realize social media fed you a massive lie. Over the past decade, online trends packaged remaining single, child-free, and living a luxury lifestyle as the ultimate form of female empowerment and high status. Many women bought into it, trading away their most precious youth, fertility windows, and golden years to chase this lifestyle. Yet after spinning their wheels until 40, they wake up to find that real-world society never agreed to subsidize that lifestyle. When they realize that the unconventional path they once bragged about leaves them marginalized in the real relationship market, sometimes valued even less than those who quietly built ordinary families, that massive reality gap is enough to break anyone's spirit. At the end of the day, their breakdown isn't just about failing to find a partner. It's about realizing they tried to use unrealistic terms to demand a premium price beyond their control, only for reality to slap them awake. I'm telling you all this today not to mock anyone, nor to spread anxiety. True independence never means shouting slogans or ignoring reality to chase perfection. It means clearly recognizing the natural laws of aging, respecting fundamental human needs, and having the courage to bear the full consequences of every choice you make. The people who are truly grounded have already let go of their arrogance, adjusted their expectations, and started building a real life step by step. To everyone watching behind the screen, how do you feel about this trend of older single individuals hitting a wall? How do you think ordinary people should handle anxiety around age and marriage? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's talk about it.